Hello, Aquarius. Thank you so much, as always, you guys, for being here. Okay, Aquarius, looking at your first week of December, you pulled Her Last Day in the Light, Divine Timing, and The Child I Was Meant to Be. There is a really huge connection between all three of these that has to do with breaking patterns that you've been experiencing that always end up in like tower moments. So Her Last Day in the Light is the tower moment. It's talking about preparing for change. So some of you are either getting ready to hit this moment, or some of you have already experienced it, and it's about healing the experience that you went through and understanding the timing that's involved with divine timing, right? But what's interesting is it talks about coming out of the dark and back into the light, where we have this clarity and understanding of why these changes have taken place. But it talks about, even if the past lies in ruins, it's still a blessing for you in this situation. And I think that that's where divine timing comes in, because it talks about breaking the patterns. It says, take care to guard against blame or becoming the victim of circumstance. Cultivate your ears to hear inner prompts and your eyes to read the signs. It says, dreams and meditation can reveal valuable insights which point toward the deeper truths behind reoccurring events and realigning you with the rich organic flow of divine timing. So this is all about breaking a pattern for good. And the child I was meant to be, this is talking about going back and healing the past. It says, an instant of clarity is the light I needed. To go forward is to go backward, as hope heals the wounds of the past. And it talks in depth about becoming whole again, becoming pure again, and becoming happy again. So being the person that you were meant to be through a tower moment. But it's really about how you're handling it, right? So how do you see this tower moment? Were you prepared for it? And if you weren't, how much of the pain of it are you still holding on to that needs to be healed? But because you have divine timing, I think that for a lot of you, whether you've already dealt with this or whether this is something that's coming up, it's meant to show you why this is taking place. Again, there's this whole idea of breaking repetitive patterns that have probably left you with the rubble of a tower moment, right? So breaking that, which is perfect, but it's bringing you back into alignment, which is even better. But I think that happens through understanding the timing of the events that take place. Your overall, the Six of Wands, perfect, beautiful. So victory and recognition for doing the right thing. And I love that the Six of Wands is the overall here, because it means that no matter what is going on around you, even if you are experiencing this kind of sudden shift in your life, this to me is saying that whatever you're facing, you're going to be able to overcome in such a way that you'll be able to celebrate, the success of, I've been through this drastic change in my life and I've made it to the other side, right? Yeah, so in the past, strength. Sorry, guys. Strength in the past, so whatever you were dealing with, you've either had to reserve yourself and hold yourself back from reacting, or you have found a new inner strength from what you've experienced. But this is also needing to continue. So it's almost like if you're going through, the tower moment and this sudden shift and everything is collapsing, you still have to make it through to the other side. And this may be you pulling on strength to continue to move forward to the end of it, where everything's healed, everything's cleared up. But, there's two ways of kind of looking at that for me. In the present, the Page of Swords. Okay, so, in this may be where there's a need to continue to hold on to that inner strength moving forward. With the Page of Swords, I'm not a fan, never have been. And we'll see what's going on here, but we're talking about the communication that is difficult. The Page of Swords is not the page you want communicating to you. It always leads to you needing to gather more information. It's a half-truth. It's only half of the story. So, but regardless though, right, like with the Six of Wands, you're still coming out of this with a sense of victory and like overcoming this situation. And you know what I feel like is if you've gone through the Tower moment, you may be dealing with people who are talking about it, but they only know it from their own perspective. It's almost like dealing with people who are only interested in one half of the story, you know, but we'll see here. But this, regardless, is not the communication you want. Yeah. Future conditions, the Three of Swords, and here's the thing, right? Like, what I feel like here is you're not moving into heartbreak. I think that with the Three of Swords and the Page of Swords, it's almost like this communication is going to cause you to continue to think about the heartbreak that you've already been through because of you coming in with strength. But it's like, are you serious? Like, why are we still talking about this? This is what I feel like here. But the way that you respond to this, though, is perfect with the Six of Wands because you're overcoming that. Your best path to follow, the Ten of Pentacles. I look at that and I think, you know, this is not a part of the security that, you know, is important to you in the long term. This is a temporary experience. What you need to be focusing on is your own, you know, long-lasting security here. When you talk about legacy with the Ten of Pentacles, it's really about, you know, what is being passed on. But I think in this case for you, we're talking about what is it that you're taking in that is going to create a long-term situation for you. You're talking about, you know, absolute success here and the ending of a cycle. But being secure in how things are going to move forward back into the Ace of Pentacles, this is not a part of that security. You know, and with strength here, that's where the focus needs to be, to continue to pull on that, to not, you know, allow yourself to be involved with things that are meant to remind you of the heartbreaking situation that you may have already experienced. Now, for those of you who are leading into a situation where there's information coming through that leads you to this sense of heartbreak, again, with the Six of Wands, regardless of whatever is going on, I'm looking at this and going, you're going to be fine, but you're also going to do the right thing. And I think that that's going to have to do with you, you know, kind of ending this cycle, right, with this Ten of Pentacles. The new beginning that you're looking at is one based in security. Okay. In your environment, the moon, if the Page of Swords couldn't get any worse, right? Like, and I keep wanting to say the Page of Wands when I look at this. And I'm wondering if that isn't, you know, how the communication kind of comes through. But with the Page of Swords, though, again, you know, it's only part of the story. And this may be information that is coming from a confused place. Again, there's this whole feeling of, you know, dealing with people who only see, you know, one side of the story. But whatever this information is, whatever this communication is, it's confused. You know, it's not based in reality here with the moon. And it may very well just be that for you, it's understanding that whatever is being said, you know, is meant to, you know, confuse, and that's not where you want to ground yourself. But this is, it's not real. It's confused. It's not clear. And for you, it's all about moving into a place of clarity. But whatever is being communicated, though, it feels like it's intentionally meant to cause confusion and pain. And that's because you're dealing, with this immaturity with what is being communicated. Your hopes and your fears, the Fool, and that would make sense, right? Like, I need a new path. I need the slate to be clean. I'm ready to jump headfirst into a new experience without carrying this garbage. Something, I'm getting the feeling that there is a need for you to continue to have to deal with a situation that I think really is over with for you, because again, I'm looking at the Ten of Pentacles and we're talking about breaking patterns, breaking cycles, the ending of that, but doing it in a secure way that leads you back into this Ace of Pentacles, right? But you're showing the Fool, meaning that it doesn't really matter what the new beginning is. It's just, I want to be released and cleansed of this situation here. Wow, man. I'm looking at this and I'm going, why? I have a tendency to think that people who behave in a certain way just need to be reminded that, hey, you're affecting somebody's feelings. Like trying to find empathy in people that just don't have it. And that may be the situation here for some of you. Because it's like this is intentionally meant to confuse and to hurt. But you overcome this, though. And then coming out the High Priestess. So, and this is where we're kind of looking at where the victory is leading you to. So, first of all, trusting what you know to be true, but not feeling the need to have to explain that to anybody. And whatever is being spoken about here that is coming from a place of intentionally confusing, for you, you know the truth. But you also know that you don't have to be involved, right? Like this is something that you can just move away from. And then there's also this feeling with the Three of Swords and the High Priestess where the victory lies in your ability here to have this deeper understanding of what is taking place right now. And, the heartbreak is there, but your understanding of it is superior, right? Like and I don't mean to like make it sound like an ego trip or anything like that. It's just you're handling it much better than what somebody else is. Because it very well could be that you're dealing with a person that is also experiencing this kind of heartbreak, but the way that they're handling it is very different than you. But with the High Priestess here, we're talking about you keeping this to yourself, but it's not being suppressed with the Moon, right? Now, absolutely, this could be some kind of communication that's happening that's, first of all, intended to hurt you, but it's to like bring things out that may have to do with, your own inner fears, things that you have, if I could speak right, it's like somebody knows about the darker parts of you and it's like they're purposely speaking about it in order to create this kind of heartbreak. But again, the intention here is to confuse. And you're just wanting to be done with this, but with the High Priestess, right? Like you know yourself well enough to know that these are just projections of fears that are not who you truly are. And I kind of go back to the child that I was meant to be. But you're not suppressing the heartbreak. You're finding a different way of dealing with it. The Six of Cups. The Knight of Pentacles. What do you got here? And then the Page of Pentacles. And with the Fool, yeah, right? Like taking that new opportunity. And there is, in a way, your Ace of Pentacles, but new information being gained to help you kind of take advantage of that new beginning. So the Six of Cups and looking at strength, right? This is the part of you that you have, you know, a deeper spiritual understanding of with the High Priestess, what you've experienced and how it has led to this inner strength and this inner knowing. But you may be reflecting on the past and finding strength from that. And then you lead into the Knight of Pentacles, where we're talking about, you know, slow progress, right? So this situation may drag on a little bit, is what I want to say here. But, you know, again, for you, right, there seems to be this realistic and practical approach to how you're handling this situation. But not only that, realizing that it's not a part of your long term, but you have learned and gained some new information here that's helping you to create a completely different new beginning for you that you want to take advantage of. And this may be a different opportunity coming through for you too, that is secure, more long lasting, where the focus needs to be, right? But I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this situation at all. There, you know, what is the point? What is the point in purposely talking about something that, you know, should have been kept private, right? It's almost like somebody intentionally speaking about your secrets in order to hurt you. But the way, again, that you handle this is superior. It's superior. And I love that High Priestess. That's badass. And for Aquarius, yes. Yes. So, you know, it would make sense too with strength coming out that with the Knight of Pentacles, right, there's this need to have to continue to deal with this for a period of time. Flourish. Confidence. One more here. And purpose. Being able to flourish in your purpose with confidence. That's what I feel like. But in order to flourish, all the garbage has to be cleared out first. But having confidence that there's a purpose for this, but I think that you come out knowing that and understanding that. Communication is key. I've been seeing this one a lot too, and it always makes me feel like whatever it is that's being spoken, be aware of how you are communicating it. And then be bold and make the first move. Which is funny because you come out with the High Priestess, which is passive. No action is required from her. It's about observing and allowing your intuition to give you the information. But with the Fool here and looking at the Page of Pentacles, if a new opportunity comes up that's a hell of a lot more secure than where you've been, then it may be time for you to make the move here and open up and communicate. But regardless here, though, I love the fact that the Six of Wands is the overall in this situation. And I feel this like level of maturity and understanding, but there is still, you know, the heartbreak that's being experienced. But your understanding of it, again, it feels superior. And I don't know if that's the right word. More spiritually aware than most. That's what I want to say.